Or still at that encounter with the media, President John Mahama revealed Ghana's economy had proven resilient without resorting to external borrowing, crediting fiscal discipline and restructured spending for a turnaround.
The outcomes of the reforms that we have been implementing in the economy. And we have survived without going to the capital markets. We've survived without borrowing. Who could have thought some years ago that Ghana's economy could be run without going to the external market to borrow? And yet, we've survived. And so we shouldn't be in a hurry to go back to the capital market. All we've done is to reorder our expenditure and push funds to areas that are of priority. And so that's all we've done. Fiscal discipline, not spending money on wasteful, political interventions and all that. And that is already showing the successes in the market. I mean, we've gone from negative 3.4% on the primary balance to positive 1.1 as at now. And by the end of the year, we'll achieve the target. I'm sure we'll overachieve the target of positive 1.5. And so it's all about discipline in expenditure. And so for me, as the president, I would not favor a quick return to the international capital market. I think we should go like this for a while and consolidate the economy before we look at external financing.
Well, let's speak to a member of the Economic and Development Committee in Parliament, Eko Asifwa. We're grateful for your time, Eko. This is what the president is saying. Do you believe that we shouldn't go to the external markets at all?
Well, morning to you and your cherished viewers. I think that for us, minority side, we've been pushing government that we should not enter the capital market. And so if the president is saying that he's heeding to the advice and caution from the minority over the months, then we welcome that. But it is important to also underscore some inaccuracies in the comments that was made by His Excellency the President. Number one, let me take you to the World Bank Group website. There is a publication there that was published on the World Bank Group website on June 27th of June 2025. In that publication, the World Bank had the course to announce to the Ghanaian public and the world that they have approved a $360 million to strengthen macroeconomic stability and lay the foundation for resilient growth. So this is borrowing, this is a loan. I agree that that is not Eurobond, but the effect on our debt stock is the same. And it is important that His Excellency the President does not tell the people of Ghana half-truth, or better said, does not lie to the people of Ghana that he has not borrowed, because this is a publication that was made by the World Bank Group. In fact, the finance minister have had cause to, as it were, to explain this publication that was made by the World Bank Group. Number two, just in July this year, the finance minister announced that the government was engaging stakeholders in pension funds on a return to the domestic capital market. So if the finance minister is on record to have said that he is engaging, or government is engaging, pension funds or stakeholders and pension funds on the return to the domestic capital market, my question is, how is His Excellency the President going to reconcile his comments yesterday and that of his own finance minister? The government should be very clear as far as this financing strategy is concerned, because you cannot, one way or the other, lie to the people. Again, when it comes to international capital markets, I've already told you that we, on the minority side, have kept on advising the government to make sure that it does not go to the capital market soon. However, we believe that the government should use the high forest earnings from the external side, and that is gold and cocoa, to build our international reserve instead of just dumping it on all the markets. So it is my hope that, yes, the president may be making an admonition or maybe touting that they have not entered the capital market, but they have borrowed about $360 million. They have also promised to enter the domestic capital market, and I do not think that whatever he said yesterday is a true reflection of what is really happening on the ground.
Well, we've been joined by economist and tax analyst Eric Boateng to tell us more about what's happening. Mr. Boateng, we're grateful for your time on Journey's Desk. Right. We understand Mr. Boateng is not on with that. But Eko, do you think that our economic or revenue streams are strong enough to withstand global shocks, like maybe a fall in cocoa prices or even gold prices, if that should happen?
Well, I think that Excellency the President should be candid to the Ghanaian people. We are still a developing country. And of course, if revenue streams, which I do not think that is enough to be able to do so, he is saying that by way of prudent spending and tackling priority areas, they are going to make sure that you do not enter the capital market. But the reality and the practicality of what he asserts is contrary to what is happening, especially because the evidence is clear that he's already borrowed about $350 million from the World Bank, with the World Bank themselves published this scenario. So I think the politics of our economy is getting too much. I mean, just a few months ago, the minority had cause to tell you that with respect to even what is happening as far as our forest market is concerned, as far as how the NDC government is dealing with the dollar, it's not sustainable. But they kept on going about it. Just a few months down the lane, we've all seen that whatever was happening was not sustainable. We've had the governor of the Bank of Ghana saying one thing, that whatever is happening has nothing to do with Bank of Ghana, as it were, and their intervention in the forest market. Yesterday, we heard the president saying that the Bank of Ghana is not going to continue with that intervention again. So which of them are we going to take? You look at Stephen, Joy News, you yourself have had cause to publish these two statements. You published the one with respect to the Bank of Ghana governor, and have also published what the president also said yesterday. Two contrary statements altogether. And so I feel that His Excellency the President is unnecessarily playing politics with our economy, and I do not think that that will make it sustainable. In the short run, we may see some results, but trust me, as we kept on saying as a minority, in the long run, it will be exposed.
We're grateful for your time, Eko Assefuah. He's member of the Economy and Development Committee of Parliament. Well, President Mahama spoke on the economy.
We're quite happy with the outcomes of the reforms that we have been implementing in the economy. And we have survived without going to the capital markets. We've survived without borrowing. Who could have thought some years ago that Ghana's economy could be run without going to the external market to borrow? And yet, we've survived. And so we shouldn't be in a hurry to go back to the capital market. All we've done is to reorder our expenditure and push funds to areas that are of priority. And so that's all we've done. Fiscal discipline, not spending money on wasteful, political interventions and all that. And that is already showing the successes in the market. I mean, we've gone from negative 3.4% on the primary balance to positive 1.1 as at now. And by the end of the year, we'll achieve the target. I'm sure we'll overachieve the target of positive 1.5. And so it's all about discipline in expenditure. And so for me as the president, I would not favor a quick return to the international capital market. I think we should go like this for a while and consolidate the economy before we look at external financing.
Well, thankfully, we're joined by economist and tax analyst Eric Amponsa-Boateng. We're grateful for joining us, sir. I mean, we just heard again from the president emphasizing the point that Ghana is not going to go to the external market anytime soon. But from where you sit, do you think our reserves are strong enough not to fall on external borrowing should the need arise?
Okay. Thank you very much. And good morning to your viewers and listeners. You see, the issue is that, yes, he is saying that there is discipline in expenditure, but we should ask ourselves, which areas are we spending on? Because what I know is that some payment has been made to some contractors, okay, and who have already executed those jobs. And what that means is that, yes, there's money supply, but there is no productivity or output. And so if you're not careful, what is going to happen is that inflation is going to rise. You will even notice that even though there is TB appreciated, just this week, it has begun to depreciate. And the reason is because of the fact that we are not getting the remittances that we were getting. And they form part of the budgetary support. Those who are outside and are bringing in the money, they realize that because the city has appreciated, when they bring in the forex, at the end of the day, whatever money that they expect, they do not get exactly what they do expect. The other issue that now around this time of the year, you realize that people or businessmen are beginning to demand for the forex because those who want to import and sell before the Christmas, they need the forex. Another issue is that a lot of people are importing. A lot of people are importing simply because the duties that have to be paid are quoted in the US dollar. And it is even having a significant impact on GRA's revenue mobilization. And so if it continues like this, and we say that we are not going to fall on the external market, I'm sure that we are going to have a gap, because what is going to happen is that GRA will not be able to achieve its target to be able to support the budget that we have. And so we must ensure that whatever expenditure that we make, it actually leads to a growth in the GDP. But if it doesn't happen, then what will happen is that inflation will creep in, and then eventually your city is going to lose its value or depreciate. So that is my point.
Well, there's the argument that when you go to the external market, it's going to also create debt for the country. And if you do not go to the external market, you're also going to starve the economy. So in this situation, which decision is good for the medium long term, and what should government do to avoid these traps?
Thank you very much. What we need to do is to make sure that we let the city find its feet based on the demand and the supply for the forex. But if we do not do that, what will happen is that we would think that the city is appreciating, but in real terms, it is not. Because even what I've said earlier on, okay, so the point is that yes, we have to spend, it is very important that we spend. And don't forget that government is the biggest spender. And so those areas that it will spend must necessarily lead to growth, must lead to output, must lead to increases in whatever that we expect. And so if you spend and then we do not get the needed output, then we are going to have a challenge.
All right.
So in the short term, I'm saying that we should let the city find its own feet, because at the end of the day, that will also lead to the growth of the GDP. You realize that those who export, they are losing out. They are losing out because when you export, let's say a year ago, when you export, you get the forex. You bring the forex into the country, and you realize that it is so much. The money is so much. And then don't forget that just this week, we are being told that ECG and some other bodies, Ghana Water Company, they are expecting that we have increments in the tariff that we pay.
Yes.
Okay, and let's not lose sight of the fact that water and electricity play a significant role when it comes to
production,
manufacturing.
Yeah.
And so I'm even wondering how the 24-hour economy is going to be successful.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if your tariffs are high, the cost of production is very, very high. Meanwhile, you are not even having the energy that you need to be able to boost that sector. And so we have a challenge in there. And so basically I'm saying that we should ensure that we let the city find its own feet, and also make sure that the expenses that we make, or the expenditure as a government, are made in areas that will lead to growth in our output, and then the other sectors will also come into play.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time
You're welcome.
on our desk.
You're welcome. Okay.